Welcome to August's roundtable. We've been doing this for a few months and we're more or less getting a hang of it. Glad you all could join us tonight. If you're obviously not watching us live, when you watch this recorded, we appreciate it. So welcome to roundtable. We got a lot to go through tonight. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave a message on chat. This time, we'd like to start our meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. Lucas, I think that's you're up.
Did now. Okay. Okay. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Scout salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United
States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
The Scout Oath. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. And the Scout law. Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and irreverent. 2.
Next slide, please. Remind everybody some of the etiquette. I can't even get it out right here today with the Zoom meetings that we're having. If you're not talking, mute, please. If you're obviously watching us on YouTube, it doesn't matter. Be aware of the surroundings, what's behind you. I've tried to seclude myself here. I'm out on a nice tropical beach. I figured to get away from everybody. So be aware of your surroundings, what's around you. If you're in a separate room, make sure you close the doors so the kids and the dogs and everything else don't make too much noise. Just remember your fellow attendees. It's important. And it's courteous and being kind to everybody. Thank you. If you're watching us on YouTube, please make sure you log in to indicate your name so we know we can keep a track of which units are actually there. It does help us get an idea where we're reaching everybody. Tonight's agenda, though, we've got something coming up. We're going to go over some of the announcements that we've got, updates, youth protection update, and any upcoming events. Keep in mind that the dates always can be changed and locations will be adjusted. Home activities, BSA guide for virtual learning and meetings, and Scoutmasters Minute. And our roundtable. We typically meet in person on the second Thursday of each month. We are planning and trying to work that next month, September, will be a virtual and a in-face meeting. There will be a few things that we'll need to make sure everybody's aware of. Everybody needs to wear a mask over the mouth and nose. Use hand sanitizer and social distancing. I will not be asking everybody to move up to the front row. I will be asking everybody to keep at least 2 seats between them. So keep there. We will have some fun things going. If we do not go live, we will let everybody know ahead of time. There will be breakouts for Cubs. There'll be a lot of different things going over different events coming up. The thing to remember, though, is if you don't feel good, stay home. As much as we like to see each other, stay home, watch it on live on YouTube. We don't want you to get anybody else sick, and we want you to get a chance to get better. Popcorn, Jonathan, I think that's you.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Thank you again for joining us. My name is Jonathan McGowan, and I'm the popcorn colonel for the Etowah district. Things are off to a pretty good start with online sales. So there's been a big push for online sales this year and doing online direct. Many units have already been to one of the virtual ideal year of scoutings that we had. Unfortunately, we couldn't have breakfast. We couldn't all get together and have our typical eggs and sausage and biscuits and all that good stuff. But we were there in spirit. But had a lot of good information at those meetings and kind of learned about everything that's going to be changing for this year. So thank you for attending if you made it to one of those. Big thing going on right now. Right now, our council this week has free shipping. It started 2 nights ago. You should have got an email about it, or your scout should have at least. And it goes through this weekend. They've got a free shipping going on for any orders over $30. If you haven't learned about Online Direct yet, definitely log into one of your Trails End accounts and watch some of the videos there. You can do Online Direct right there from the app, and the prices for online have been dropped this year so that they are more in line with the order form prices, to try to encourage people to get out there and do contactless selling and contactless delivery. So definitely check that out. And we have um, our show and sell coming in soon. We got all those orders in, and those have been ordered. So for those of you still doing show and sell, those should be coming in. We'll be sending out some information about that here within the next coming days about how we can pick that up, the units that need to pick that up, and then if we need any volunteers, of course, for sorting and distribution. If you have any questions, you can reach me right there at the email address that's on this page. But I've already been in contact with most units, but happy to help anybody that needs help here. So just reach out to me and I'll do what I can.
This is an, just Mark, Sarah, was this from which school was this from?
I don't know. I feel like that's how I feel right now.
I think that's one of Matt Half's kids. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Sarah and I have been working on getting Roundup started. We have been coordinating with all the schools. Just so you know, it's going to be different. There are going to be very few schools that will be able to talk to the actual students and potential Cub Scouts on the property of the school this year. So we're working with Parks and Recs. We've got a lot of places, Fowler Park, Old Atlanta Recreational Center right across from Lambert High School, Cumming up there, or up north of Cumming at Central Park. And we're talking some places around. Are there some other ones that you're looking up north, Sarah?
Yeah, Rock Creek Park and the Rec Center in Lumpkin County. So we're all over.
Okay, so we're just trying to find the closest place that will have some good spacious areas for us to bring our kids in. We're going to be focused. We're trying to do them in an hour this year, set up, take down hour. So we will really need the PAC's help. Each PAC get there, we'll communicate, whoever the presenter is, we'll communicate with the PAC and kind of make sure everything's ready to go. We'll roll through the door, set it up fast, do our thing, sign up about 1,000 to 2,000, maybe 7,000 kids this year in Etowah. And then we'll move right on to the next thing. But before we get there, Sarah, you want to talk about the orientation? Well, we've already started orientation, but.
Yeah, so we've oriented most of our PACs about Roundup, but if you've not been oriented, please contact Jay or myself and we will meet with you individually and get y'all up to speed.
That is right. So contact us. You can contact me at sarah.dover@scouting.org.
And you can send all complaints to j.lowry@scouting.org.
See that? That's how we do it here. That's how we roll. I think that's all we got for Roundups right now. We've got a lot more moving here. We're getting a lot of, I'll just say that the principals at schools we're talking to are being very responsive and very helpful. So we're sending some information home in digital methods we've never done before. It's always been hard copies, and we're going all in a different direction a little bit this year.
Bill, this is you. Bill has left us apparently for a little bit. We've had a lot of work on the Eagle boards. He can tell you a lot more than I am. It's always a challenge to do it digitally. Did Bill leave the room?
Bill's here, but we can't hear him.
He sounds like he's having issues with his microphone.
Oh, my back.
There you are.
You're back.
Okay. Well, let's try that. You know, we try the hand puppets virtually. It just doesn't work well. So, okay, I'll try again. That's what we do in scouting. We learn, we adapt, and we overcome. And in this case, you're seeing our latest Eagle Scouts here online. from our advancement board from June and July. So we have 6 brand new Eagle Scouts, and this has all been done virtually. A lot of great volunteers been helping to make this happen. So where else does this take us? It actually takes, I want to provide a little bit of an update how we're doing on advancement, because we actually have had, it's been very active as far as our scouts, as far as even during the pandemic. As you can see, we have had several Eagle Scouts as well as projects being reviewed in the last few months. So what does that mean? It means if you have a project and for some reason it got delayed in the last couple of months, please sign up, get on the calendar, because we are having our boards just like we always did every Tuesday of every month to help make that happen, or the last Tuesday of every month to help make that happen. The fourth 3 scouts, they've either had a project review board, a final Eagle board review in the past 7 months. One of those dates, but past 7 months. So I want to provide a little bit of update on that. Which brings us to one of our reminders. Mark and I were talking about this a little bit ago. We've had some youth protection in the last few months. We keep getting reminded about this. I want to provide a little bit of a reminder. Youth protection is actually still very critical to everything we do in scouting. And this is just kind of an insight of how it's being done. And now if you took it a couple years ago, it's going to change for you a little bit. You're going to now see 3 different modules that are part of youth protection. Again, this is all about protection of ourselves from an adult's perspective, as well as the youth, to help make sure that happens. And when it comes to renewal, where this is going to become very critical, is at the end of the year when the recharter occurs for all of our units, you have to have current youth protection training available. So if you want to be proactive, we're in August, December's recharter. It's good to we're trying to be proactive at this point. That was one of the ideas here. Mark, is there anything else you wanted to add to this? You're on mute.
It's easy to do online. You can pause it, you can get up, you can come back. It will also give you a full program as to other learning areas that you need to look at. So it's not hard to do. It's very insightful. It is a definite step forward in the youth protection programs that are out there. It goes into a lot more detail than the older programs do. So definitely get on there, take it.
All right, guys. This is we'll go over Duty God week here in just a few, or weekend. I can't see it because there's a lot of people standing in front of the end. As you can see, this has a little bit of something for everybody. If you're looking to go to this weekend, you will have something to do. It's not this weekend, it's next weekend. So I believe there's still some time. I won't go into great details. We've talked about it program preview before, but it is coming up on the calendar, not this immediate weekend, but a week from this weekend, next weekend. So you can still connect there and get registered.
Now, this is an announcement for anyone who has anything to, whether you're Star Scout, Life Scout, and I do recommend those are Star Scout. If you're getting towards Life, it's a good time to think about this. We're going to actually have Life to Eagle Scout training. Now, it's not going to train you exactly what steps you're going to do, but it's going to tell you, we're going to go through, talk about projects, we're going to talk about the activities, we're going to talk about the advancement process, and this is going to happen on September 1st at 7 p.m. So this is Tuesday in 2 weeks. So we're going to have this, and it's all about the Scouts. Now, the parents of the Scouts can also attend. Highly recommend it. It's a good time to be educated on this, as well as any adult registered leaders that like to attend. So we're going to have this via Zoom meeting, very interactive. We're going to have lots of different sections. And I'm saying approximately 90 minutes. Don't be surprised we may go over, and that's not a bad thing. We know Scouters love to talk, but it's all about, want to make sure the information is there for the Scout to be able to advance. And why am I doing this? Well, it's because we did not have our Advance-A-Rama earlier this year. Because why is that? It's because March 13th, what happened? Everything got shut down. That's the day, that's the pandemic. I will forever remember that forever, because the March 14th was going to be our own Advance-A-Rama. So March 13th, I will remember forever. So because we did not have our Life to Eagle coach / scout training at that point in time, we're going to have it via Zoom. Been a lot of requests for this, so we're going to make that happen on September 1st. And we can have a repeat performance on this as well. Not a problem, but I wanted to make sure we put that announcement out early so everyone could be aware of it. And we're going to get some announcements out so you can actually register for this and be aware and have it happen.
Okay, aquatics weekend, week 2. Registration is still open. The link is there on that PowerPoint slide. We have a lot of fun. There's meals provided. If you guys want to stay for the weekend, that's fine. You'll just need to have a COVID test within the last 14 days. And if you have any other questions, you can contact me. I now go by Sarah Dover and not Sarah Motter, but I'll answer to both. So.
Lucas, I think you're up on Order of the Arrow.
It's all you, Luca.
Hi, it's me. Yeah. So first of all, congratulations to my advisor and in the chapter, Frank Darmus. He got Silver Beaver Award recently. So good for him. Second of all, we can still hold elections for your units. We can do virtual elections for units not meeting in person. We can do in-person elections too. So that can happen at any time, any meeting you guys want. Me and the rest of the chapter can come over and run an election for you. Hopefully everybody already knows this, but you never know, because I hear it happening a lot. You can't hold elections on your own without an OA rep there and then just tell me, okay, this is who won, because they don't allow us to validate results like that. So don't waste your time doing that, because I've heard some other chapter chiefs that have had issues with that lately. So our next event in the OA is Fall Fellowship, if it happens. And that'll be on September 18th to 20th. Obviously subject to change, but hopefully it'll happen. I'll definitely be there. You guys should all be there. It'll be fun. It'll just be Spring Fellowship, but a little warmer. After that, our powwow event, October 30th to November 1st. For those of you guys who aren't in the, well, it doesn't matter if you're not in the way. For those of you guys who don't remember or don't know, powwow is more of like a less service-based event. It's more like a bunch of competitions between chapters. Very fun. You should attend. Make sure that your units know about these dates, because everything is so uncertain and people can forget dates. I encourage everybody to attend. Again, elections, contact me. That's all I got.
For NYLT, Marcia, would you like to provide some insight on that?
Sorry, playing musical chairs here over at the Batish house. So yes, NYLT, we are excited. We are ready to go. We've got our staff all ramped up. Normally we have 2 separate weeks in the summer, but because of COVID, we have decided to combine that into one single course. And we've taken the best of the best from the staff for the normal 2 weeks. And it's going to be over, as of right now, it's going to be over 2 separate weekends, kind of long weekends. Part 1 will be right after Thanksgiving, November 28th through the 29th. Part 2 is December 28th through the 31st, following Christmas. For those of you who aren't familiar with it, NYLT is the National Youth Leadership Training. It is the premier training for your scouts. We highly encourage all the units to send some of their older scouts that are ready to take that next step in their leadership roles. And they will bring skills back to you in your unit that you won't even imagine. They will come back to change kids. It's an incredible program. We highly recommend that all scouts participate in NYLT at some point during their scouting career. And the best of all, it's really fun. So come to NYLT. I'll be there.
Now on the wood badge. Howard, Marcia?
Kathy?
Hi.
It's me, I guess. It's a wood badge. We are definitely on course to have a 2021 course. So if you look at the slide, we do have our first weekend is April the 16th through the 18th, and our second weekend would be May the 1st through the 2nd. I do believe we've got 41 people that have signed up so far. So there are still some of the spaces available. So please do that. Just like NYLT is the best training for our youth, Wood Badge is a great training. It's the NYLT for the adults. So this is your training your adults to help your youth, and this is the best way to get it. Lots of fun. As you see, there's no sad pictures in there. Lots of fun, great eating, great learning, and truly making some outstanding friendships for life. So please join us for our next Wood Badge.
Being a safe person or scout. Important things to remember. We're all out there, even though some of us are still remaining somewhat quarantined. Things to remember: size of the group we're in, keeping the distance from people. As much as we like to be together, I know as scouts, we enjoy company with each other as leaders. I know our boys do also as youth, like to get together. We have to be mindful of the distance we need to keep. We need to wear our masks. They're not only protecting you, they're protecting other people around you also. Basic things. Take care of, unfortunately, we're not able to go out and do the things we wanted to do. Go to the movies, go to the dinner as a large group. Hang out at Taco Mac after district dinners, meetings. Those are things that we're unfortunately not able to do right now, but we need to make sure that we show a good example. Wear the masks correctly, over your nose, over your mouth, not on your chin only. Important things. And washing your hands. I've never washed my hands so much in the last 6 months as I have ever before. So I get a little better understanding what my wife goes through as a nurse, having to wash her hands constantly. Bill?
Well, also the additional part I want to add to this is also remember when you're on scout property like Scoutland, Camp Rainy Mountain, etc., from the cleanliness perspective, that also includes cleaning the facilities. Each unit is accountable for making sure the bathrooms and the facilities are clean before and after use. So keep that in mind as you work on different activities. And I know we're talking about all sorts of different events. We're about to get really busy into the scouting season, and each unit is going to be like part of that groups of 50. So when you work together, remember the 6 feet and how that works. It's going to be very important to remember that at all times, including masks. But now it's time to get techie, Mark.
Yeah.
Getting more techie.
The least techie.
Well, you've seen this before. We're not going to go in more detail on this, but we have lots of links here from the BSA. We'll have that within the deck. We're going to make sure this is also posted on the YouTube channel. And if YouTube's not working right now, my apologies. We had some links, snafus. I'll totally take accountability for that. But we'll make sure the recording's up there and you're able to see any of the replays. And that includes the link even to the slide deck. We'll have that up there. From a merit badge opportunity, there's lots of ways you can even do this at home. I mean, so a lot of the units are coming together now. So don't get me wrong. The units are coming together. But if you still want to do things at home because you don't feel safe, there's lots of opportunity. Lots of ways you can look and see how you can perform merit badges at home. And keep in mind, some of these, even within your own units, you can be performing merit badges even via Zoom. I've heard that happening within our own district, so keep that in mind. And if you need anyone from a merit badge counselor, please reach out to the advancement team. We're more than happy to help get you lined up with a merit badge counselor if you do not have one within your unit. And that does need to come from an adult leader. We talked about all sorts of virtual meeting options. I think we all know this by heart at this point, so I'm not going to go into detail on that. And then we talk about tips and tricks. We've gone through this before. And Elizabeth, I think you have some new slides here you want to talk about too, don't you?
Oh, yeah. So I had gone for one of the Cup Leader breakouts, and it was fun because I learned a lot of new stuff. So most of the den leaders as well as Cub Masters, you might be doing Kahoot, Bingo, and scavenger hunts. Why not take it a notch up and do Jeopardy? You have Jeopardy labs, which have separate templates, whether it's for Cub Scouts or for Scouts. There's something called as Scribble.io. That was something new, and it is fun more for the kids to sit and scribble all over when you're having a meeting. How many of you have done Simon Says? Okay, change it to Cubmaster or your SPL Says. That's a game too. This is something new which even I'm trying to see. It's called as Flipgrid, and it is more related to all schools having it. So I think that will be a good thing to implement into your meetings too. I've been hearing about geocaches all the time, and this is something which I really love to do. And I think we'll have to look up to the Scouts to help out the Cub leaders to learn more about this. Maybe we can start off with the 12 points of the Scout Law at local parks. But there are a lot of places which we can do it too. But then I think if you have a den chief or an older scout with you, I think Cub leaders can sail through this. Knot tying, what is that? I finished day camp now, and I realized that almost all Cubs have some form of knots to tie. Use Knots 3D when you're doing it online. Kids always love to fidget, right? So are Cubs, so are Scouts. Origami is coming back. It's one of their adventure requirements. It is part of an elective. Why not try out simple stuff as well as complex stuff? With all the people doing avatars on Facebook, it's time for even kids to create avatars. So you can use Wookie.com, which is really a fun site for kids to even use it in their school. So you want to change your avatar? Go on to Wookie.com. This is something really nice too, because most of the kids are inside and they would like to be going places. As a den leader or even as your SPL, use Google Earth and take pictures of places. You can also hide in one of those pictures. Ask the children to identify places, trees, animal tracks, etc. And that will be the game. Where's your den leader? When you're having any meetings, please remember something. Small Cubs are really difficult if you go over 45 to 60 minutes. So lions to wolves, a 30-minute span is very much. Bears to owls, they can go from 45 to 60 as long as you keep your meeting entertained. Pack meetings, because you have the whole group in between, it's better to have it for 30 minutes. Teenagers and Scouts. It's funny that even they have a very short attention span. So keep changing your games, roll it up a notch, and make it interesting for them. Always remember at the end of meetings to give your Cub Master and Scout Master minutes too. 15 minutes might be too much. They might sleep off. So 5 to 7 minutes, more than enough.
Yeah,
Thank you,
you're right. That 15 minutes for the Cub Master, Scout Master, that's usually maximum. I mean, usually whenever, for me, it's about 5. So that's on average. Some additional pieces. What's that?
So the old KISS, keep it simple.
Absolutely. Well, we have some additional links where, again, we've been providing these. So if you want to leverage any of those, I put a different additional news slide in here about the BSA office hours. This is something the BSA National did within the last couple weeks, last week. And I wanted to make sure I provided that. The recording is out there if you want to get to it. And it was about specifically activities around scouting. So as you can see what the purpose was, the scouters and patrol leaders asking question and doing Q&A from National Scouts BSA. So it's an opportunity there. I want to make sure you actually had this so you can reference it, because there's lots of different emails happening and sometimes it's not in one place. So I want to put a little note in there. And to that note and to that thread, there's lots of additional resources right here to leverage, whether it's program, training, COVID. It's all right there. You have it right at your fingertips, so it's easily to access, easily accessible on that side. So I want to make sure that was available. Something that just came out. I want to make sure it's off the press, and there it is, from email to presentation.
We have a district challenge. We're still trying to get to our 100 subscribers. Let's do it by the end of August this year. Also, another challenge for you. If you've noticed at the beginning, and you'll have to go back to YouTube to watch this, I'm again offering challenge. Anybody who comes up and sees me after when we go live and can actually be reached, but only 6 feet away, I will have this month for August, $25 of Scout Bucks. We will be having an auction, probably sometime after Christmas. So 2 challenges, come and see me with the and get your Scout Bucks. And this is for Cub and for Boy Scout, Cub and Scouts. Got to get it right. I'm still too old school. And also to go on YouTube and sign up as a subscriber for it. When we get to 100, we get some benefits out of it for the district. So those are your challenges. And next slide, please. There are activities that adults need to continue. I mentioned earlier about the training. There's a lot of training out there. If you go onto myscout.org, you will find they will give you a list of suggested training for your position. It's nice. They're all online. You can do them right there. If you need to take a break, you can come back to them. As it's been said, every scout deserves a trained leader. A lot of these things you can also translate into your regular life as opposed to your scouting life. There are a lot of skills out there. Get your training. There's training for merit badge counselors, and I know Bill can always use more counselors on that. You can go and practice your knots before you try to teach your cubs your knots. It always helps to make it look like you know what you're doing. There are a lot of things out there that you can do that as adults that we can sharpen our skills to be better leaders. Now we're going to give our Scout Minute. We will time you. You do not get 15 minutes, Bill.
Oh, come on. It's the only way you can keep me awake. Come on.
And you're the one
Okay,
talking.
so yeah, for Scoutmaster's Minute, when I was thinking about this, there's a speech for those that know Fred Rogers, or AKA Mr. Rogers, if you remember watching him grow up. Very much on the PBS and all about kids and making a difference, things like that. It reminded me of a speech he actually gave in 2001 at Marquette University. He gave a commencement speech, and I kind of paraphrased it for my needs here, but I thought it was very realistic. It brought very much back to heart about who we think we are and who we work with. So it goes like this. What's essential about you that's invisible to the eye? And who has helped you become that person you are today? Anyone who's advanced school, high school, universities, anyone who's even completed a merit badge, you've advanced a rank, and there's always that one person, sometimes many, who helped you believe in you. Because we don't become competent with a skill without a personal investment from others. It may be one, it may be others. It may be a mom, it may be your scoutmaster, maybe your cub master, a den leader, or other. So as you think about this, I'd like to give you a gift, an invisible gift. It's a gift of silence. Now, why a gift of silence, you might ask? Well, it's an opportunity for you, yourself, to think about those who nourish you at the deepest part of your own being. Anyone who has ever loved you or wanted the best for you in your life. Now, some of those people may be right here today, online, right next to you, maybe part of your unit. Some may be far away. Some may be in heaven. Wherever they are, if they've loved you, encouraged you, and always wanted you to have the best life that you can have. And they're right inside you right now. And I feel that you deserve this quiet time on this special occasion to devote some thought to these individuals or individual. So let's take a minute of silence to think about them. 1 minute, and trust me, I'll watch the time. Well, thank you for your time. And Mark, I'll hand it back over to you.
We look to see you all next month, either virtually or hopefully in person. Go out there, be safe, work with our boys and girls, providing them a program they deserve. Do your best. Thank you.
Hey, Mark and Bill and everyone else, we do have several questions from our YouTube channel. If we could just take a moment to answer those questions.
Sure.
Absolutely.
They are actually geared more towards Sarah and Jay. So the first question is from Don from Pack 805. The question is, 65% of Big Creek is virtual learning this fall. How is the district rounding up kids whose parents don't want them going anywhere, even the county park facility?
We're actually talking to for a solution for that, because that question has come up to me just about a day ago. So we want to make sure we have a solution for these kids who want to get into scouting as well. So I don't want to give you things that we can't guarantee right now, or we don't have the plan all the way in place, but I can just tell you we're working on that right now to have a good solution.
Okay. The second question comes from Larry Lawrence. His question is, for roundups, have we considered making these for parents or adults only? The kids have already been sold on joining, so the meeting is not really needed to motivate them. It's just something to consider. That was the question.
I think that's been brought up, and we have discussed it at the council level. But so at this point, the decision is that we still want to encourage them to have to allow the children to come with the parent. We may try to talk about limiting some of the additional people who may not be there. I haven't heard anything official, but especially if we have occupancy maximums, we may have to approach that slightly different here as we get a little bit closer to it.
Okay, and those were the only two questions on our YouTube channel tonight.
But they were good
questions.
questions.
Thank you for that reminder.
Thank you.
Those are great questions. Thank you, Kathy, for reminding and bringing us back full circle. That's awesome. Well, thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend. And if there's anything we can do, feel free to reach out to us. You guys have all of our contact information. Be safe, be good, and make a difference.